ahead of Election Day so that when you reach the ballot box, you know what you're voting for. To do that, before the runoff elections, we sat down with Jackson City Council candidates and had a discussion over a cup of coffee. Each candidate telling you their story and their plans to make life better for you. They're addressing the issues that you find important. They're expressing their vision for the capital city, and they're asking to be your guiding light over the next few years. They're talking water, roads, business, and schools, hoping to get your attention and a seat on the council for the betterment of the city. Now, let's hear from our candidates, full steam ahead.
Now, a Commitment 2025 special. Coffee with the Candidates on 16 WAPT News, Jackson's breaking news leader.
The runoff elections are coming up very soon, and the Jackson City Council over the last 8 years has had a rotating roster of faces. Welcome, I'm Troy Johnson.
And I'm Joe Cook, and this is Coffee with the Candidates. Now, this election cycle brings a lot of promise of change to the Jackson City Council. The incumbents in Ward 6 and 7 are not running for re-election. That's why it's important that you know all about your candidates.
First up is Emon Thompson. We caught up to him at Cups in Fondren. He's running for councilman of Ward 6. He led all challengers with 23% of the vote on primary night. He ordered a cappuccino, and our conversation started from there.
My name is Emon Thompson. I'm running for Ward 6, and I'm just a hard community advocate and worker for South Jackson. I have a strong religious background, grew up in the church, and I've always had the heart for the less fortunate, you know, the ones that people pick on. And that's just been my life story. I feel like I never meet a stranger. We have just been advocates for the less fortunate, the people that doesn't seem to have a voice. And so that brings me to here. When I first moved to Brooklyn, my wife and I just bought our first home. And so we had the U-Haul truck in the yard, and we had somebody that represented the HOA that was very mean, you know, talking about the grass needed to be cut and get this. I'm like, I just moved here. I told my wife, I said, I would never be a part of that HOA unless I'm running it. And that's why I messed up. And so I began to work in the neighborhood like I normally do. Any disasters, whatever, I get the water, I cut grass, it doesn't matter, you know. And so the HOA president at that time was an older gentleman, and he asked me, will I take his position? I mean, he just, hey, because we see you. And I accepted it. When it was time for the election, I was overwhelmingly voted in, and that's been my history. I mean, it's like, I don't mind people calling me, like I got the call this morning, hey, Mr. Thompson, somebody broke in my car. And so I do everything I can to warn the community and let them know, especially my senior citizens, that I'm there for them.
What do you think Jackson needs most right now?
Integrity. I think that we need to work overtime, proving to the constituents that we care. Their voices need to be heard. Their problems need to be solved. And we need to work hard to let them know that we care. That's my thing. And hopefully allow them to see some improvements, you know, and I think that's what they're looking for.
How do you deliver on that?
Well,
if you're in council.
I think it's something within you. You got to love people genuinely. You can't worry about getting the credit. You know what I'm saying?
One of the biggest issues citywide is the infrastructure, the roads and the infrastructure in general. How do you begin to address that if you're on city council?
First thing that I would do is to continue to build my relationships. I had an opportunity to run for supervisor for District 4 with Ms. Evers, and so when I didn't win my primary, I worked with her. I mean, I put her on my golf cart, rode her all over my neighborhood, 450 homes, and encouraged people to get her in. I didn't have an attitude, okay, I lost, now I'm gonna just take all my marbles and go home. She won, and so because of that, her and I have a great relationship, you know. And because she represents South Jackson, I mean, we already been working together. I Miss Wanda, hey, I got this pothole, it's tearing up people's tires, and I need to get it fixed now. And so I call her so much that she said, don't call me anymore, call my guy. And so she gave me, we called him Tiger, Christian. And when I called him the first time, I said, Miss Wanda told me not to call her no more. She told me to call you. She said, yeah, she's already told me. So, I mean, I say, hey, pothole, no less than 2 days is repaired. And so because of that relationship, the county has helped me to repair all the potholes all the way from Elton Road to get off all the way to Barrow. You know, it's like they're patched. And so that's where we have to start having relationships. I want to have a relationship with the people that's responsible for that. Yeah, I think we just have to start little by little. It's time for the cities to start working in the communities. I mean, we got some treacherous potholes. And so that's my goal, is to start on my most difficult, areas and then come out of the community.
Libraries have also been an issue. Schools in Jackson have been an issue. How do you keep them from closing and make what we have better and not lose any of these important resources?
The first thing is, if our infrastructure is bad, if our water is bad, I mean, people want what's best for their children. Like myself, I want my children to get the best education. That depends on our infrastructure, our services and all that. So when that's not in place, you're going without lights, you're arguing over garbage, people move. And because they move, then our schools they taking the children with them. So it's hard for a school to maintain their employees and everything like that when there's no students. A lot of people kind of felt bad because the schools were closing, but it doesn't make any financial sense to have a school full of teachers and there's only a few students. So our problems that we're having here in the city of Jackson, our infrastructure, all of that, it has a great effect on our school system. So most people who want to come to the city, they want to be successful, but definitely they look at the schools. Our schools have not been fully funded. We have great teachers, but they're not fully funded, and they don't always have all the resources they need to really, do what they need to do as teachers.
Where does Jackson head from here? What do you see on the horizon for this city, and how long and how do we get to that?
I have big faith in Jackson. I'm very excited about the gentleman purchasing the buildings downtown and his plans for those buildings. I'm excited about getting new leadership in. Hopefully we'll be able to work together. I'm looking for big businesses to come in. South Jackson, I'm looking for mom and pop stores to start opening again. My goal is to develop a relationship with these property owners. I mean, you got all this empty property. I mean, come on, let's work out a deal. Can we get somebody in there for about a year without paying rent and work with the city to give incentives for people to come to South Jackson, And so, most of my constituents don't want all industrial stuff. South Jackson is like a place where we want to come and relax. So I'm going to build on that and, get the necessary businesses we need, especially the grocery store. I've been keeping up with Aldi. I know they're supposed to be coming to Jackson. And I'm making a plan to go visit whoever I need to visit personally and just jump up and down and beg and do whatever I can. Please come to South Jackson. So I believe when we start getting major companies there, I believe people are going to have more faith in South Jackson. They're going to want to move to South Jackson or move back to South Jackson, and then the businesses are going to come.
What's the one thing that you love most about Jackson?
The heritage, the museums, the food, the love. I mean, Jackson has a lot of push, so much to do here. I really have issues because we don't market Jackson enough. There's a lot to do with Jackson. And the vision I have, I mean, is people try to take it, people try to, we've maintained a lot of things, and I really see Jackson getting better.
Anything else you'd like to say to the voters themselves? We got this big runoff coming up.
Yeah, I know a lot of them may not agree with our choice of mayoral candidates, but they got to come out. If you don't come out Ward 6 just to get me in, we have to work with anybody, with the mayor that gets in. I tell my wife all the time, she's not quite too happy with the choice. But I give her assurance by letting her know that whoever the mayor is, they can't do no more than the council allow them to do. As long as we got a strong council, we should be able to keep the integrity, hold our mayoral, our mayor, our candidates accountable for the things that they do or don't do. And that's one of my goals, is to serve the people regardless of where they are. You can be in Ward 1, you can be in Ward 3, this is Jackson. And believe it or not, I've had a lot of support personally from other councilmen that's not even, and so, but we got to vote. I got to get in the seat, and we just got to have faith again. Have faith, just hang on to a little bit. To me, the new administration coming in should give you a little hope that, okay, now maybe we can get something done. But we got to vote. We got to come out and vote.
Emon Thompson is just one half of the candidates on the ballot in the runoff for Ward 6. You'll meet the other candidate after the break. Why she describes herself as a go-getter with integrity who aims to get the job done.